Yes. Okay, cool. What's going on, everyone? It's Monday. That means it's time for another edition of our Monday night online open mic here on YouTube. What's going on? What's going on? My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your host tonight, and this is presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series based in El Paso, Texas. But because we are hosted through the internet, through Zoom, through YouTube, we have the luxury of getting to have people join us from all over the country and all over the world. We have a pretty hefty list today, guys, so I'm going to try and be quick. So, first of all, if this is your first time here, welcome. Happy to have you here. Let us know you're here and say hello in the chat. Want to give a shout out to Colt Biz, who is also a new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing and was here like at the door waiting for us to start the show. So that's cool. Shout out to Steven and Ruben and Ed. Ruben, hey, good seeing you on Thursday at the Jazz and Poetry show. Thanks for getting me that drink. I really appreciate it. I needed that liquid courage. But what else can I say? This is like any other open mic. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. There's always a link to sign up in the description of this video. So even if you just want to test out the waters and see what's going on and maybe join us the next week, then feel free to do so. Uh, April is Poetry Month, so we're still thinking of maybe we can, if everyone's going to doing the 30 for 30, that always goes down, then that's a great opportunity to share new work. Okay, so I'm going to try and be brief. What are some things going on this week? In addition to being online, we do have in-person shows and venues in the El Paso region. So check it out Tuesday, tomorrow, as if you're watching live. If you're watching this after the fact, then we are usually downtown on Tuesdays. It just so happens tomorrow we're going to be at Rosewood Bar. That is our Verse and Harmony open mic, which is an open mic for singer-songwriters and poetry and prose, hence the name. Um, Wednesday, we have the third edition of our Writers' Night, which starts with a writing workshop from 7 to 8:30, led by Candace, my friend Candace, who is also Sad Salad Girl on Instagram. Or I just like how David calls her Salad Girl. And an open mic, a writer's open mic from 9 p.m. till close. They've been a lot of fun. I think, so I appreciate everyone who's been coming through. And I know there's a lot of interest from people who haven't been able to make it yet. So yeah, that is Wednesday, Writers Night. That is at Proof and Press. And Thursday, we will be at Old Sheepdog Brewery, as always, the last Thursday of every month. And that is, oh, my cat is here saying hello to me. Hold on. Perfect timing, little kitty. All right. We will be at Old Sheepdog Brewery, where there are some cute cats who hang out there too, like Luna. And that is going to be hosted by Kit Wren, who will be reading tonight as well. And sign up for that will start at 7 p.m. and the show will start at 8 p.m. We do have a calendar. You can find the link probably in the description of this video. You can just find our website, BWOMS.com. And it is the end of April, which means, sorry, it's the end of March, which means April is coming up. We do have a really cool storytelling event in the works. And we've been doing little teaser videos, right? We have two out. We still want to make a third and just let you guys know about uh, what like how that event is going to go down. It's a storytelling event. It's going to be different, like unlike any other. So we're going to do a video where we just explain how it's going to work. Oh, and I'm seeing comments here. 30 for 30 challenge. Yeah, 30 means for each day in April. I'm responding to the comments here. Each day in April, you would write a poem and then like share it. So usually that Monday, people can share like whatever they wrote that week. And also, maybe we can host something on our website. I don't know. I don't know just yet. But anyway, for any questions, just find us on social media. Lastly, I just want to share a link here. For those of you who've been here and part of the online community, hold on, sorry, that's my voice. Sorry, that's YouTube playing on my other monitor. We lost a dear community member, Jeff Taylor, suddenly this past weekend. And I know we've lost a couple people, in fact. And so just I'm going to share a link for you guys. If you in any way have an opportunity to support Jeff, led right here a couple of times, but even when he couldn't sign up to read, he was often in the live chat commenting on stuff as well. Such a big supporter of a lot of these online spaces. So, and made a connection with us in that way. Um, So I shared that link. If you guys have any extra, you know, any way you can help his family in this time, uh, and feel free, you guys, to share stories, throughout today's mic. But with that said, we're gonna go ahead and continue on. Long list, like I said, this is a platform for all our writers, our performers, our singer-songwriters. So, if this is your first time, pay attention. You can follow them online. You can check out their YouTube video and play their music a million times. Uh, purchase albums, purchase, whatever there is available. So, without further ado, we are going to kick things off with someone who has not been here in quite some while. And if you've been to any of our shows, you know what's going on. We have and also it's rare to see him out at these because he has a job that requires him to wake up like at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. whatever to host our one of our local morning radio shows here in El Paso. We have Fernando Antonio Montejano, who I think has some new shit to share. So Fernando, aka the King Grizz. Grizz in the morning. Wait, you still here? Oh yeah, yeah, you're here.
Yeah.
So kick us off. All right. When you're ready, go and take it away.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Richie, and hello to everybody that I haven't seen in a long time. Like Richie said, I wake up early as hell now, and so my time getting to support the various events that we do has been drastically cut. But every once in a while, you want to be in community or you do something, and you really want to be able to share it. And this is one of the best places to share anything, the barbed wire. So. I figured I'd come back here and be in community with all of you. So thank you. Hello. And I unfortunately didn't know Jeff, but I've heard a lot about him, after his passing and as people have been telling stories. And, wish I would have known Jeff. So condolences to everybody who did know him. And I'm sorry for the loss in the community. It's always terrible. Um, the thing that I wanted to read today, I'll read two poems. I had three pieces initially that I wanted to read, but with the big list, and I mainly had one thing that I wanted to focus on, which was, like Richie said, new shit that I've been writing. Uh, and I hope it comes off what I was expecting it to. I've been working on this poem for a while, a few months actually. It sort of encapsulated a couple of obsessions that I've had. And I still don't think I'm done with it, but I haven't really read it out loud in a way that felt good. And so I think today I want to do that. But in order to do that, I have to read a cover poem first. So thank you, Kit and Robin, and the progenitors who came before of the cover poem. That poem, the poem specifically that I'm going to read, is actually one that informs the poem that I wrote, because it is the poem I wrote is a cover poem of the poem that I'm going to read. So cover poems for both poems, I guess. Specifically, so the poem itself, it covers two topics, two big topics that I've been really obsessed with. One is something called hypernormalization. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, if you don't already know what it is, there's a BBC documentary that you can find for free on YouTube. That is, it does a really great job of sort of going through what this is, but essentially hypernormalization is the idea of a very uneasy calm. It's the idea of a citizenry sort of churning away as the crumbling walls of the empire fall around them. Basically, the idea that, you're watching rampant corruption in your government, you are seeing the walls of your society fall. And instead of trying to fix it, you decide that you want to look away and continue on as life happens. And the hypernormalization documentary mentions one specific example, and then they lead on to sort of show the way that things have progressed in this life. And the hypernormalization basically was in the USSR. The biggest example was that was the moment as the USSR began to crumble. The citizenry looked away, but the artists were immune to this, and that was one of the things that I really wanted to capture in the poem. The second thing that I really wanted to capture in this poem was Rudyard Kipling's poem that I'm about to read, called "The Conundrum of the Workshops." If any of you have ever read it. It is a poem that Rudyard Kipling wrote, honestly, as a beef. If you know the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef or any other beef battles, Rudyard Kipling was beefing with Oscar Wilde. specifically for his book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, because Oscar Wilde sided with British aristocrats at the time, and they all believed that art needed to be formatted, and it didn't really matter how much humanity existed within it. If it didn't fit the format of the time, then it wasn't art. And so Rudyard Kipling, who was a soldier and who wrote a lot of poems that were based on that sort of very human emotion and feeling, made this poem to combat that idea. And in it, he makes these aristocrats who critiqued art from their ivory towers the devil. And so that's this poem. And hopefully that all informs the poem that I wrote. But first, here's the cover poem, Rudyard Kipling's The Conundrum of the Workshops. When the flush of a newborn sun fell first on Eden's green and gold, our father Adam sat under the tree and scratched with a stick in the mold. And the first rude sketch that the world had seen was joy to his mighty heart. Till the devil whispered behind the leaves, "It's pretty, but is it art?" Wherefore he called to his wife and fled to fashion his work anew, the first of his race who cared a fig for the first most dread review, and he left his lore to the use of his sons, and that was a glorious gain. When the devil chuckled, "Is it art?" in the ear of the branded Cain. They builded a tower to shiver the sky and wrench the stars apart, till the devil grunted behind the bricks, "It's striking, but is it art?" The stone was dropped by the quarry side, and the idle derrick swung, while each man talked of the aims of art, and each in an alien tongue. They fought and they talked in the north and the south, they talked and they fought in the west, till the waters rose on the jabbering land, and the poor red clay had rest, till the dank blank canvas dawn, when the dove was preened to start. And the devil bubbled below the keel, "It's human, but is it art?" The tale is old as the Eden tree, as new as the new-cut tooth, for each man knows ere his lip thatch grows, he is master of art and truth. And each man hears as the twilight nears to the beat of his dying heart, the devil drum on the darkened pane, "You did it, but was it art?" We have learned to whittle the Eden tree to the shape of a surplus peg. We have learned to bottle our parents twain in the yolk of an addled egg. We know that the tail must wag the dog as the horse is drawn by the cart. But the devil whoops as he whooped of old. It's clever, but is it art? When the flicker of London's sun falls faint on the clubrooms green and gold, the sons of Adam sit them down and scratch with their pens in the mold. They scratch with their pens in the mold of their graves, and the ink and the anguish start when the devil mutters behind the leaves, "It's pretty, but is it art?" Now, if we could win to the Eden tree where the four great rivers flow, and the wreath of Eve is red on the turf as she left it long ago. And if we could come when the sentry slept and softly scurry through, by the favor of God, we might know as much as our father Adam knew. Thank you. So that was the Rudyard Kipling poem. And aside from hypernormalization and this idea of art and it being judged, the main thing that I wanted to capture with my piece was, artists being sort of immune to this idea of ignoring what's happening in the world. And at the same time, I wanted to sort of capture that, this devil in a mask evolved over time. It's no longer, aristocrats judging what art could be. Now, for the most part, in our sort of digital world, it's, internet trolls who think that they know better than others, or, who maybe live in echo chambers and refuse to accept that, there are other opinions besides theirs. And so they judge what they feel is the enemy. And so that's what this poem is called, or that's what this poem is about. It is called Hypernormalization, or the Conundrum of the Creators in a Time of Global Collapse. As the iron bones of the USSR cracked, the walls of Moscow echoed with a silence no anthem could drown. A poet, On a subway platform recited lines about the ghosts in Red Square, how the statues wept rust, how the leaders grinned in their marble sleep, how history was collapsing in slow motion, and everyone pretended not to see. The train roared past as listeners churned away from the poet's words, a flicker of fear and knowing in their eyes as they stepped cautiously back into the dark. And the devil, wearing the mask of a bureaucrat, whispered from a ration line, "It's passionate, but is it art?" They painted murals on crumbling walls in colors that bled like open wounds, infected with liberation and the hope that the new world would become something better. But the new rulers, clad in the old rulers' skins, scraped the paint away, claiming the walls belonged to progress, not to ghosts. The artists were dragged into the quiet of a prison cell, their hands still stained with the pigment of their defiance. The devil, now a journalist with a smirk and a deadline, sighed, "It's freeing, but is it art?" As the towers burned and the smoke wrote elegies in the sky, the streets filled with the masses clutching flags so tight that the colors trickled through the dry cracks of their calloused hands. A singer stood on the steps of a courthouse, her voice curling through a microphone held together with tape, singing of politicians turning their backs on the hungry, of the mother who buried her child beneath rubble while the world changed the channel. The cameras caught her for a moment before the broadcast cut away. And the devil, now a faceless comment under a live stream, sneered, "It's human, but is it art?" As the empire grew, it began digging its boot heels into the digital landscape. Tyrants became figureheads, and the elite laughed while they moved armies over virtual chessboards on high-definition screens. The artist shares their work in flickering pixels, a film, a painting, a plea, a warning wrapped in LED light, a camera held up to a world unraveling. And the trolls, those new aristocrats of cynicism, sharpen their knives, ready to tear apart what they could never create. With keystrokes, they strip flesh from vision, cackling within the walls of their echo chambers, and the devil, now countless and unkillable, hums in 1,000 voices. It's viral, but is it art? Yet, still they paint. They sing. They write in the margins of a burning world, using every tool creation has given them to build a new world upon the ashes of the old. History is built on the bones of those who dared, and art has never asked for permission to exist. Thank you. I appreciate getting to be back here. So thank you all. And yeah, if I zip off, I promise it's not because I don't want to listen to anybody. It's because I am now like 2 hours past my bedtime. So, but thank
It's
you all
true.
for giving
It's
me a
true. I can
spot.
vouch for that. Really quick, how can people follow and support you online?
Yeah, if you'd like to follow, I even have my written version of this um, on my Instagram, so you can follow me there at the King Grizz. Or you can follow me on Facebook, Fernando Antonio Montejano. And I also have an audio version that I edited together of Kipling's piece on my YouTube, Fernando Antonio Montejano. So if you'd like to hear a more dramatic version of that, you can, and I'll have an audio version up of this piece as well. But yeah, thank you for the platform. Thank you for the reading.
Right on, man. Glad you could join us today. There's a more dramatic version. No, I love it, man. I love it. That's killer. Yeah, go check it out. Follow Fernando at the King Grizz if you have not had a chance to do so already. And yeah, catch Fernando at some of our open mics around town as well, plus our storytelling event. But more on that later. All right, we're gonna keep going, guys. And again, thanks to the magic of the internet, we are gonna go ahead and go to Denver for our next performer and join in with someone who helped us with our mic check earlier. Get it? Mike in the house. We have Michael Sindler. Hey, man, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, how could I refuse after that wonderful humor? Um, I just want to, mention that for anybody out there in YouTube land who, is new to us, instantly found out why we miss it when Fernando doesn't come regularly, because that was just so spectacular. Just so nice to have him back. That was a great piece. And speaking of things I think are great, this is lighthousewriters.org, which is a wonderful organization that has workshops and classes and events and all kinds of stuff. Just go ahead and check it out. You know what you got to lose. This is, I'm just going to do one piece of mine due to time, because I got a rather long hat poem. And I'm going to do going into National Poetry Month and all that good stuff coming up, and just had World's Poetry Day the other day. This is one of my sonnets called Back to the Bard. It's often good to go back to the bard to learn what true skill harness can achieve, true reflection cast in mirrored shard, wherein nature's mysteries can be perceived. Fashion may run towards the avant-garde, riddling those who to old forms cleave, choosing somewhat rashly to disregard, yet still not all poets are so naive. Why toss from the deck such a useful card or keep it hidden, tucked in a sleeve? It's an unwise player who disregards an old but winning trick when it's received. The targets hit when shaken spear was heaved are still fair game when weapon is retrieved. And as I said, I'm just going to go ahead and go directly into this, because I just think it's a wonderful poem. And you know, we're here in the last week of National Women's Month, even though, of course, every month is Women's Month, just like every month is People of Colors Month and all, and LGBTQ months. You know, got to remember all our people. But this is National Women's Month, and so I want to do a piece by Adrienne Rich called Diving into the Rat. First, having read the book of myths and loaded the camera and checked the edge of the knife blade, I put on the body armor of black rubber, the absurd flippers, the grave and awkward mask. I'm having to do this not like Cousteau with his assiduous team aboard the sun-flooded schooner, but here alone. There's a ladder. The ladder is always there, hanging innocently close to the side of the schooner. We know what it is for, we who have used it. Otherwise, it is a piece of maritime floss, some sundry equipment. I go down, rung after rung, and still the oxygen immerses me, the blue light, the clear atoms of our human air. I go down, my flippers cripple me. I crawl like an insect down the ladder, and there is no one to tell me when the ocean will begin. First, the air is blue, and then it is bluer, and then green, and then black. I am blacking out, and yet my mask is powerful. It pumps my blood with power. The sea is another story. The sea is not a question of power. I have to learn alone to turn my body without force in the deep element. And now it is easy to forget what I came for among so many who have always lived here, swaying their crenellated fans between the reefs. And besides, you breathe differently down here. I came to explore the wreck. The words are purposes. The words are maps. I came to see the damage that was done and the treasures that prevail. I stroke the beam of my lamp slowly along the flank of something more permanent than fish or weed. The thing I came for, the wreck, and not the story of the wreck. The thing itself and not the myth. The drowned face always staring toward the sun, the evidence of damage worn by salt and sway into this threadbare beauty, the ribs of the disaster curving their assertion among the tentative haunters. This is the place, and I am here, the mermaid whose dark hair streams black, the merman in his armored body. We circle silently about the wreck. We dive into the hole. I am she, I am he whose drowned face sleeps with open eyes, whose breasts still bear the stress, whose copper, silver, vermeil cargo lies obscurely inside barrels, half wedged and left to rot. We are the half destroyed instruments that once held to a course, the water eaten log, the fouled compass. We are, I am, you are, by cowardice or courage, the one who find our way back to this scene, carrying a knife, a camera, a book of myths in which our names do not appear. That's good poets. Wow. Adrian Rich, folks.
All right, thank you, Mike. Mike Siller, everyone, and you guys see the tradition of the hat. That's common for the cover poem, right? To throw it on there. Uh, okay, that was a terribly timed cough. Sorry, guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep going again. If you guys are watching on YouTube with us, first of all, thanks for hanging out with us. These online shows are so unique, unlike a live in-person show where you might be on stage and you can see the audience and see people interact. With online is different, we do have the live chat. So if you're here, say hello, hang out. If there's any lines that you really love, type them out in the chat. If there's anything that you can relate to or connect with, let us know. Or if you learn something new, otherwise just drop the flame emojis, the 100s, the mic emojis, whatever it is you find, and if you have any other things you want to share, it's always really fun to interact with people that way. All right, we're going to come back to El Paso and one of our celebrated authors who joins us often, not only online, but in person. We have Robin Schofield up next. Robin, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello.
Hey Richie, hey everybody, happy Monday. Wow, I already feel overwhelmed, such a strong beginning. I'm gonna follow it with a couple of short ones and then a cover poem that I love. So my first one is called New War, Old War. Red and white geraniums mesmerize the blue orchard bees circling under white alyssum. I hear students shout in protest of the new war, the ancient grudges. I have a feeling that the sky is on fire. Peach tree in bloom, quite seasonal. The peach trees here are in bloom. Map is an abstraction until you walk the route. War is an abstraction until it arrives exploding in your neighborhood. Peace is an abstraction until you enter the garden with its deep shade. World is an abstraction until you take a plane to London. Bird is an abstraction until one falls out of the nest to die in your yard. Blue is an abstraction until you are on the beach and the sky is wider. Pink is an abstraction until you walk right up to the peach tree. And this one is for Women's History Month. It's about Abigail Adams, the wife of a president and the mother of a president. It's called No Subservient Woman. Abigail Smith Adams wrote to John, "Your set of laws should include us as well, or we should rise up and speak for ourselves, vote for ourselves, and own ourselves." Well, it may have taken a century or two, but we are not chattel since the 1890s. We own ourselves and our property now. We can choose whether to have children. We can apply for a credit card, own a home since the 1970s, thanks to RBG. Don't we have rooms of our own now? Sheds and such. A century after our great-great-grandmothers, such as Susan B. Anthony, went to jail for voting, the ownership of our bodies is again in doubt, assailed by pious men of dubious character in the Congress and below, demanding ultrasound wands if we demand to own ourselves, including reproduction. Will the question never be over whether we can choose to have children or not? When we own ourselves, some men are afraid. When we own ourselves, our rights cannot be taken. Oh, but they can. They can be taken. With 3 Catholics and 2 abusers sitting with the Supremes, when a seat has been stolen from the Democrats. Your set of remarkable laws, she said. She said they were remarkable. And now I'm going to read my cover poem, Sans Hat, sorry. And it's a short poem by one of my favorite poets from her iconic collection, Rita Dove's On the Bus with Rosa Parks. And it's dedicated to her daughter, Aviva, because when they were taking this tour, Aviva said, "Look, Mom, we're on the bus with Rosa Parks." So this is the poem in the book called Rosa. How she sat there, the time right, inside a place so wrong it was ready. The trim name with its dream of a bench to rest on. Her sensible coat. Doing nothing was the doing. The clean flame of her gaze carved by a camera flash. How she stood up when they bent down to retrieve her purse. That courtesy. So that's Rita Dove, and we're having a great time at Tumble Words every Saturday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So do drop by. It's where I write a lot of my poems. Let's see, who is it? Richie's doing it on the 29th, and I should know this. Who's doing it next Saturday, Kip?
April 5th is Sandy Torres.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Sandy, in the live chat.
Okay. Wow, it's hard to believe March is almost over. Who's doing it? Who's doing it next week? Is that Richie?
That's Richie, yeah. March
Oh,
29th
yeah,
is Richie.
okay. I'm not looking at a calendar, so okay.
Me either.
Great. That should be a great workshop with Richie.
Oh, appreciate that.
Back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Yes, I will be doing a rare leading of Tumble Words, so come through. And I need to start promoting that, in fact, because like Robin, I just realized that it's already in the end of the month. That is wild. But yeah, if you guys want to work on your writing, check out Tumble Words. By the way, I should have mentioned at the beginning with events going on this week. Borderlands, the Mexican American story by David Dorado Romo. He will be speaking at Valle Verde campus, Paso Community College on Wednesday. Come on through. It's gonna be super fun. This book is amazing, by the way. I just finished it. It's timely. It's a lot of history and a lot of repetitive, not history repeats itself. So there's a lot of crazy stuff in here. I just want to give a shout out to David one more time. If you live in the borderland, just like Ansel Dua's book and work, I recommend this on your bookshelf. And of course, reading it. Okay, we're gonna go and keep going. And next up, we have another important voice in our community, and it's always great when they get to make it out, like Writers' Night. But let's go ahead and welcome Lee Martinez Soto online. Hey, Lee.
Hi. So I have three poems. One of them is borrowed. The other two, it's an old one and a new one. So I'm going to start with the borrowed one. This is from Jorge de Bravo, who's a Costa Rican poet, and it's called Nocturno sin Patria. First, his Spanish version and then a rough translation that I did of it for our English-speaking audience. Yo no quiero un cuchillo en manos de la patria, ni un cuchillo ni un rifle para nadie. La tierra es para todos, como el aire. Me gustaría tener manos enormes, violentas y salvajes para arrancar fronteras una a una y dejar de fronteras solo el aire. Que nadie tenga tierra como tiene traje, que todos tengan tierra como tienen el aire. Cogería las guerras de la punta y no dejaría una en el paisaje, y abriría la tierra para todos como si fuera el aire. Que el aire no es de nadie, 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 y todos tienen su parcela de aire. I don't want a knife in the hands of country, neither knife nor rifle for anyone. The land is for everyone, and so is air. I would like to have enormous hands, violent and wild, to tear down borders one by one and leave the border only air. Let no one own land like they own a suit. Let everyone have land like they have air. I would grab wars by their tips and would leave none of the land on the landscape, and open the earth for everyone as if I were air, that the air belongs to no one, no one, no one, and everyone has their own patch of air. All right, the second one is older one. It's called Gender Fuckery for the Transfronterizo. It's kind of like a format essay, but here it goes. I never questioned my gender identity throughout my childhood. There was no need. Being a tomboy meant I often dealt with comments made contemptuously about my appearance, my hobbies, my personality, and I used to embrace those. I took great pride when other kids would call me niño because I like my hair short, my clothes loose, often imitating, cosplaying men. Machorra porque podía burlarlos jugando fútbol and my fists could break through gristle and skin. Marimacha porque no me dejaba. My strength defined both in character and frame. As I grew older, I took these comments meant to put me back in my place as rebellion. I rejected femininity, put distance between me and girlhood and its closeness to womanhood, thinking it was because I was different, not like other girls. I was a damn pick-me, trying so hard to distance myself from the social and cultural entrapments that came with being assigned female at birth with disdain. But I could not escape them fully, no matter how hard I tried to fight them. Alongside those contemptuous remarks meant to denigrate my dissenting self, new words attached themselves to me. Puta, zorra, piruja, words enunciated with derision and hatred, leaving the lips of the boys who had once thought me too masculine, one of them, and girls who had once wrote me letters as my legs carried me through fields and cheered for me when they hid behind me as I safeguarded them from harm. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them, wrote Gloria Zaldúa. I felt so alone, caught in the middle, wanting to be liked, wanting to be wanted and desired for who I really was. I had cornered myself into the trap of self-hatred and internalized misogyny. The deconstruction only came once I was a country away, cruzando el bordo, removed from the sources of derision, in the relative safety of knowing no one and owing them nothing. I first learned of my self-hatred way before I had the words to describe its origins, began building spaces where those who dared show the same derision I had been subjected to felt shame, fear. Then the words came, and for the first time, I questioned. My journey of gender expression is well documented somewhere on the internet, split between social media, chats, and forums. It started with clothes, secondhand loans from friends who entertained my ideas, then hair, every time growing shorter, shorter, and gone. Then the pronouns, ella, él, him, her, ella, ellos, they, and it, and a list of many names. Back home, del otro lado, I was still performing womanhood to an extent. Mexicana, chicana, güerita. Names and pronouns hidden under skirts and dresses, bordados de colores con el nombre de ella. I split myself in the mirror, mitad y mitad, but neither one or the other. At first, I tried to appease family, culture, society by hiding. But for the first time, I was not alone, and a lot of my strength and courage came from that. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them, but perhaps I was meant to break them. I tore apart at the seams when I could not restrain myself anymore, for I contain multitudes. Then this one is new, like literally just finished writing it a few minutes ago. Here it is. Just to preface this one, as of 2024, there have been 31,083 missing people in Mexico reported. And on March of this year, a collective search group uncovered a mass grave of people taken by the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación in Jalisco, where estimates of up to 1,500 victims have been found. So this is specifically about that, and it's titled Si algún día no regreso. Si algún día no regreso, no gastes tu tiempo buscando mi cuerpo. Te prometo no estar esperando en él. Deja en paz tierra y escombros, tantos lotes baldíos, terrenos y ríos que pudieran ser las fosas de mis restos. Quizás solo encuentres cenizas derramadas entre muchas otras, cuyos rostros y nombres ahora viven en los sollozos y afiches. Si algún día no regreso, guarda tu luto entre puños. Raya, pinta, destruye y eleva altares sobre sus amados obeliscos. Derriba las puertas, rompe ventanas y hazlos tornar su mirada a los rostros de tus fantasmas. Ahoga tu llanto en el aliento iracundo de todas las madres, hermanas e hijas que gritan mi nombre y exigen justicia. Si algún día no regreso, corta cada dedo de cada mano de aquellos que con su maldad han hecho tanto daño. Cercena las lenguas de aquellos quienes en complicidad sus crímenes en silencio han guardado. E ignora calumnias, mentiras, justificaciones que tornan la culpa del criminal al mártir. Si algún día no regreso, no calles, no temas, pues vivo en la fuerza de tu lucha enardecida. If one day I don't return, don't waste your time looking for my body. I promise you I won't be waiting there. Leave dirt and rubble untouched, the many vacant lots, lands, and rivers that could be the graves of my remains. You might only find ashes spread among many others, whose faces and names now live between howls and banners. If one day I don't return, keep your grief between your fists. Deface, paint, destroy, and raise altars over their beloved obelisks. Bring down their doors, break their windows, and make them turn their gaze to the faces of your ghosts. Drown your whimpers in the wrathful cries of all the mothers, sisters, and daughters that scream out my name and demand justice. If one day I don't return, sever every single finger on every single hand of those who with their evil have caused so much pain. Reap out the tongues of those who have been complicit of keeping their crimes hidden in silence, and ignore the slander, lies, justification of those who will turn blame from the criminal to the martyr. If one day I don't return, don't be silent, don't be afraid, for I will live in the strength of your fight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lee. And do you want to promote your stuff? Thank you for, by the way, for reading.
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and I'm on Blue Sky as well. On Instagram and Blue Sky, I'm under cadáveres_literarios. And on Facebook, I'm under Lee Martinez Soto or Lee MS. And then, of course, I do have a Substack. I haven't been updating it since I am submitting to some manuscripts, and I don't want to like lose the opportunity to use those for those manuscripts. But yeah, you can follow me there, and I'm sharing the link on the chat.
Cool, perfect. And I'll make sure to share that on YouTube as well. Thank you, Lee. As always, pertinent, profound work that a lot of people need to hear. But also shout out to Andres as always for your support. Good to see you. And yeah, I'm gonna have to also reiterate Gabriel is in the chat today. You know, you are spitting truth. So yeah, shout out to Gabriel by the way. It was good seeing you this past weekend at Power of the Pass. If you guys if you like hip hop, check out Nine Elements Hip Hop Doc on Instagram. kind of keep up with the culture there a little bit. Okay, we're gonna keep this thing going, and we're gonna actually go to Pittsburgh for our next performer, where we have Vale Larkin, and I will enable the share screen. Let's get you on. Let's see, Vale. Yes, got you. So as soon as you're ready, yeah.
Hello. So, real quick, we've lost a couple of people in the past week. Raul James, who was an amazing host and poet and friend, and Jeff Taylor, who is known to a lot of people in this space. This poem is for them. It's not new, but it's what I felt like I should read. Exoplanet. 1. I am so lost here in this meat, and I can't tell if it's holding us back or holding us up. I can't tell what's real in this soup. Mind-melding gut bacteria, hormone profiles, mirror neurons, a fungus that takes over your brain. Reality is teeming with potential, seething, swarming with options and possibilities. I don't know if I could even imagine anything beyond these bone-bound oubliettes we find ourselves in. I imagine nonsense, feeling without juice, thought without salt, life without meat, a disembodied, infinitely malleable awareness. If I can follow every last spark of sensation to its nerve-laced origin, what do ghosts know with? How do they feel? Where does their love live? 2. I find here myself. I find here at the center the string and slime and congealed grit of me. I find biological agents of order and change, shelter and love. I find every drop of passion running through blood, lymph, cerebrospinal fluid teeming with proteins and antagonists. Here is a memory made of acid and oil. Here is joy, an astronaut, flying from dendrite to dendrite, faith in the void and velocity. Here is the definition of serendipitous, arrayed in all its molecular whimsy. Here the faintest trace of madness and caffeine. Where is art? Is all creation only synthesis? How is imagination? 3. There are millions of beings who call your meat home. You are a metropolis, a biome, an ambulatory planet. Do planets go to heaven when they die? Does the Earth's mood shift as we roil her matter with our gouging, churning, burrowing? Watch her magma flow in great slow beats, her passion rising, and we, her parasites, clinging to her skin and believing we are the answer. When she dies, does she go to heaven? 4. Beyond all this teeming, squeezing, salivating life, what is it about the spaces between, the millimeters between, the heartbeats between the bones of your spine and the thread from which dangles your life? What is it about the void in your chest that can break you open, gasping when it collapses? What is it about emptiness that is so vitally important that losing it, even once in a while, even for a little, even in just a few places, between synapses, between joints, vaulted halls behind your ears, can stop everything? A skipped beat, a stilled rib, and gone as though you never once oozed your liquid, illogical self across the surface of this world. Do planets go to heaven when they die? I wonder for just a little while longer, or longer and longer, feeling dissected from meat, mind from oil and electrolytes, and soul, oh soul, do you go to heaven? Do you die? Little planets, wandering lost. Who are we?
Wow. Cool. Thank you. I mean, thank you, Vale. Do plans to go to heaven when we die? That's some crazy stuff. Yes, we got a lot of feedback on that, not only here, but also on the live chat and Vale. Um, if you have any links as well, we'll forward that.
I think the link that I would share for Jeff was the one you're already sharing. So
Okay, I will
thank you for
reshare it.
doing that.
Cool. Thank you, Vale Larkin, everyone. And appreciate everyone doing sharing these things here. We're gonna go ahead and keep going, and in fact we're gonna go ahead and bring our first international guest. We are gonna go to Malaysia, where we have Julian Matthews with us, and share screen should be already open. So when you're ready, Julian, go ahead and take it away. Yeah, Julian Matthews, everyone. Hey.
Hi. Mm. Stung. The barista did not spell my name right again. I hurry and cradle the coffee like a grenade to my favorite corner seat. But it's taken. Double hurry. I trudge to a window seat as if it's the last one on a delayed flight, my pre-coffee grumpiness steaming from my ears, my patience running out like a lit fuse. Settling into my seat, I notice the swan in my coffee is less placid latte art, but something beastly, grotesque. Its wing deformed, contorted, its head hydra like a hooded cobra about to strike. My day barely begun. I already feel stung. Um, Second one is called The Last Bee. At sunrise in our garden, the shrubbery is speckled with bejeweled dew, flowers like hungry beaks open to greet mother sun, and I'm pottering about with a trowel when the sounds of a bee, buzzing in and out of the wild pink and purple hyacinths growing at the untrimmed hedge, catches my post-coffee attention. Mr. Google says a single bee produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its entire short lifetime. That's a dozen hard-working foragers which sacrificed their lives for a single teaspoon that went into my cereal this morning. A new scientist story says the average honeybee lives only 18 days these days, down from 34 days, almost a 50% fall over the past 5 decades. Another article speculates how bees may go extinct by 2050. I see the bee before me has not read the signs, nor does she care. Busy is as busy does. Tiny pollen sticks to her head, torso, legs like waxy beads as she flits away. She'll visit an average of 1,000 flowers today alone, pollinating thousands more in those last days of her life. I go over your excuses now, your rebuffs, your last replies. I'm busy. When the usual refrain. Or maybe next week. Until all the maybes evaporated into the ether, the messaging stopped and the screen went dark forever. I reminisce in this beautiful garden we grew with the heat rising, the bees now disappearing from view, these emptied flowers and everything I remember of you. All the forage memories falling off leaves like the last drips of dew as I turn towards our living hive. Its dead queen and the sting of another ugly cry. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Julian Matthews. As always, appreciate getting to read these as well, and all the creativity behind what you put into it, all the images and everything. Okay, so good night, Doc. Leaving us, so we'll cross you off the list. But we're gonna go and keep it going, and we're gonna come back to El Paso for our next performer. who sings the praises of the El Paso Poetry Workshop. A lot of great people involved with that, and Ed's been pretty consistent coming here now. And again, when you have the chance to see come in person as well, like at Rally Point. So, without further ado, it's time for Ed Gonzalez on the mic. Ed, when you're ready, take it away. Hello.
Okay, hello everybody. Amazing writing and reading going on already. Thank you very much. I mean, wow, I'm blown away. I had to spend a minute to recover. Beautiful writing, beautiful reading. Happy Monday, everybody. Uh, Thanks to BWOMS, it makes Monday so much better for myself, and I'm pretty sure for a whole bunch of other people. Thank you, Bob Wire. I also have two pieces that I had wrote in tumble words. David, that was freaking awesome. That was an awesome tumble words. I got about 4 or 5 pieces just from the writing I did. I'm gonna go ahead and try to speed things up so I can get it done and get more of the reading and writing done. This one is from like I said, both pieces that I wrote were going to be from tumble words. This was entitled Studio of Mundane Objects. I had originally acquired poster boards for first drafts for painting and drawings. But in pause mode, I began pasting photos on them. And now the walls of my studios are my walls of my studio are covered with collages of sketches and photos and written word as well. A salon of ecgrafis. To my partner pens are prized. They are stored in fancy Tupperware containers. Occasionally, uh, uh, occasionally I will audit the actual quantities as needed for proper food stuff storage. As far as my writing tools are concerned, whatever spits ink will do. I recently prized a Sharpie pen borrowed from her stash. I wrote 2 pages with gusto until it skipped once. Then I let it fly towards the trash cylinder. Then blindly reaching for my plastic promo pen from our local dispensary, I finished editing my work. Those pens, those cheap little pens, they work like weed. So that was my first one. Okay, this next one too was something pretty monumental in my life. And this one's entitled Jim Fix. If I had to choose at present, I would pick someone I met at a book signing in Signal Hill, California, at a bookstore. At the time, I was patterning my life after his. Jim Fix was his name. Everything I ate was measured and applied to ride to my racing formula. Miles were measured out, as well as oil. I was a well-oiled running machine. One day while stretching, it came over the television. Jim Fix had passed away from a heart attack. I was stunned. How is this possible? I changed my whole life trajectory. I put my plans of running marathons and living forever in jeopardy. So after that day, I decided to recover. After a day or two, I recovered at Fossilman's, my local ice cream parlor, for a comforting banana split. I was done training. Only trips to IHOP and the Village Inn for pies for me. From now on, I vowed to live my life in this precious present moment. To live, not just survive. Okay. And I have a couple of covers. This one, I love lyrics probably more than a lot of other writing. These lyrics are from probably one of my favorite writers and one of my favorite bands. The lyrics are from Rush, and you may join in on your air guitars or air drums if you like. This song was entitled "Closer to the Heart," written by the Professor Neil Peart. And the men who hold high places must be the one to start, to mold a new reality closer to the heart. Closer to the heart. The blacksmith and the artist reflect in their art. They forge their creativity closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart. Philosophers and plowmen, each must know his part to sow a new mentality closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart, yeah. You can be the captain, and I will draw the heart. I will draw the chart closer to the heart. That was my first cover. And I'm going to come back to one of my new heroes. This one is entitled Catharsis by Megan Sood. She's freaking amazing. I've been reading her book. There is an empty space, a blankness, filling the wedges between our silence. Our solitude begs for the presence, an utterance, a word, a syllable. Rewrite as a compulsion, as necessary to thwart the darkness. Looming inside our soul, fervently trying to fill the empty spaces with the light born out of blatant truth. We stay alive. We stay breathing. We try to fill our solitude with the constants of our burlesque love. We try and try till we fail, till our ashen souls is parched and dried off all our verses. We stand still and mute, like the baked earth, pitted with the lexicon of pain and angst, knowing deep inside that something has to give, that the tourniquet has to be loosened again. The thread, our protection, is cutting too deep into the skin. We all can see the pain resting in the black swirls of our eyes, begging for the next word to come down as a tear. And I'm going to continue to hang out and listen to everybody's. Thanks again to Barbed Wire. Also, if you get a chance, take a look at the El Paso Poetry Workshop group on Facebook. I wanted to add on the whole David Romo. He's also going to be at the Film Cafe at 6 p.m. on Tuesday for a sign. He texted me that so I could go get a signed copy of his book. Thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to continue to listen to your wonderful work. I'm blown away already. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And thanks for sharing that news as well about the signing on Tuesday. Okay. And also, our next performer was just name dropped in that performance as hosting an exceptional, a great workshop with Tumble Words, joining us 1,430 miles from hell, in parentheses, Michigan. I'll let you explain that if you want. We have David Latif. David, man, when you're ready.
Thanks. Yeah. There's a town in Michigan called Hell. You can be mayor for a day for $100 if you want. I'm gonna read some poems about creating and making art because that is what's kept me going recently. Because world's not well. We're focusing on creation. The opposite of war isn't peace. The opposite of war and destruction is creation. So I'm going to read some poems about creating things. This first one is an ode to every shittily modified car in El Paso. Every Civic with a fake red badge, every Integra that's barely holding itself together, every front-wheel drive economy car with a big wing bolted to the trunk lid. I love you. More than any Ferrari or Porsche I see on the west side, I love your battle damage and body filler. I love the big bore tube at the end of your exhaust that doesn't muffle shit or missing catalytic converter that roars. I am a race car. The same way I tell people that I'm a poet, both trying so hard to be something they said we aren't. You may not be on the track, I may be self-published, but we know what we are. I am a race car, and you are a poet. This next one is called My Best. I'm trying to push through. I know it's not exactly impressive, but this, right now, is my best. It's not the best, but it's my best. Small and weak, but it's being the best it can be. My best. And I love it. My best will get me through. His final one is some new shit that I wrote at my own workshop. It's called George Lucas Never Made Anything New After Star Wars. I tend to see the imperfections in my art, tons of typos, a lack of lacquer, poor polish, but I tend not to notice, much less comment upon, the flaws in the art of others, to the point where I think I'm the only person with imperfect art. Until I notice, just now, the lopsided thumb stop on my favorite wooden mug, the exact same way I'd get tired of carving and sanding this damn thing at 4:59 in the afternoon on Friday and yell, "Fuck it, it's fine, it holds liquids, doesn't it?" I think there's pride in finishing a thing, in having agency over the object, because the never-ending project is a realm of madness, in the center of which reclines a singular Mona Lisa. But Mona Lisa isn't a muse, she's a siren singing the sweetest tune. Just a little more sanding, a bit more polish, a bit more weathering, doing her best to wreck the watercraft of your art craft against the rocky shores that have claimed a million other artists, so you never create again. Thank you. Um, uh, Thank you so much. You can find me on Instagram. Actually, you will find nothing there. I don't post there anymore, except when I am forced to and need to. If you want to find me, you can find me at Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. You can find me on Blue Sky at Poet Friend. You can find my book on Amazon. It's called The Chair, A Cluttered Pile of Neuroqueer Poetry. You can buy it on Amazon, or if you're like me and you hate Amazon with a passion, you can come find me and I will get you a copy. Just find me and we'll figure it out. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, everyone who makes this possible. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you, David Latif, everyone. Which, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already there. Make sure to click subscribe, click on the little bell to be notified when we have new content, like Fresh Cuts, which David recently recorded an episode, 3 poems, including the one that was read there. To every shittily modified car in El Paso, or ode to every you get the idea. Anyway, yeah, go check it out. The video, give it a like, share it with your friends. And I know we have a couple more people that have booked, so looking forward to new episodes as well. And the best way to get updated is just, again, subscribe, click on that bell to be notified. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. We're gonna stick around in El Paso, and we're gonna switch it up and get some acoustic music. If you've been coming through, you already know what is up. We have Steven Molina in the house, Scuba Tanks. So, Steven, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. I see you preparing the cover there. All right. Good to see you, man. Happy Monday. Go and take it away.
Happy Monday. Got two for you for the halftime show. With your feet in the air and your head on the ground, we'll try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head'll collapse and there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my little fish. He bumped into me, I swear he's trying to talk to me here. Koi, koi, koi. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? With your feet in the air and your head on the ground, we'll try this trick and spin it. Yeah, you had a collapse if there's nothing in it, and you keep asking yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Thank you guys, thank you. All right. Cool. The song has a couple of oohs in there, so feel free to ooh along at home. It's called Don't I Know You. Blisters, bottles, and thrills were cashed out and counting the till. I just need to get o'er this hill. Well, don't I know you? Ooh, yeah, don't I know you? Ooh. Well, bad days, they come and they go, but lately I'm not even sure just how deep I'm digging this hole. Well, don't I know you? Ooh, and don't I know you? Ooh, and don't I know you? Ooh. Well, leave me, spare no expense. Why lift up such a wretch? I cannot repay you for this. or should I know you? Ooh, and should I know you? Ooh. Excuse me, miss, am I late? The pamphlet read 7:45. Oh, is that right? Guess I can't see straight. Or should I know you? Ooh, and should I know you? Ooh, and should I know you? Finally turned the page just to find, carrying all this baggage won't fly. So I need to drop away, and then I'll need to drop away every day. Get on stage, bring your soul. Oh, fear not, your colors will show. Oh. And one day it'll come and you'll know. Well, now I know you. Ooh, yeah, now I know you. Ooh, yeah, now I know you. Ooh. Thank you kindly, guys. Thank you kindly. Another beautiful, beautiful Monday. Shout out to the Pixies. Shout out, or not Pixies, but Pixies. Shout out, shout out. And Richie, as always, thank you, thank you. And man, I wish you all the very best week. See you next time. Oh yeah.
Alright.
Sorry.
Dude,
And
yeah,
if
do
by
your thing.
chance you want to check out some more stuff, you can hit me up on Instagram at Scuba Tanks Music. All right. Shout out, shout. All right. Love you guys. Peace.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff as always. Check them out. Hey, I hear myself. Awesome. Thank you, Steven, Melina, everyone. Next up, we have native El Pasoan who is currently living in Gainesville, Florida, and he used to perform BWOMS back in the day. So here he is online. We have Lichen up next. Good to see you as always. I like the name change because we have a bunch of Davids here, and if you guys didn't know, that's my middle name too. But yeah, take it away when you're ready, man. Good to see you.
Cool. You guys can hear me, right? I'm gonna
Yes.
assume so. I was going to perform, but it's already late here, so I'm gonna try to maybe share what I recorded. Let me see if that's okay. Well, and if this doesn't work, I also have some poetry. Can you guys hear what's playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pacified, classified. Keep in line, you're doing fine. You lost your voice, there ain't no choice. Play the game, silent aim. Be a passive observer. Back and look at the world they destroyed and the peace that they took. Ask no questions, hear no lie, die. You're already dead. You're already dead. You're already dead. If you're the passive observer, here's a message for you. You're already dead. Afraid to do what you know you should do. You're already dead. The world's at the edge of nuclear destruction, but you're too afraid to make the connection. You still believe the system's there for your protection. You're already dead. You're already dead. Letting it happen without fight, you're already dead. With your endless debates about wrong and right, you're already dead. Nothing's gonna change if you're not prepared to act. There's no point complaining after the fact. Content to be a number branded dead. You're already dead. You're already dead. You're already dead. Your fire is melting both soil and soul. In plan, maybe, is that not enough? Your war and raving of its soul total. You're consumed by it as you consume us. Would you see the fire from your sanctuary of death? What terrible pain you need to hide. In your hatred, you'd seek to destroy the earth. What is it that you've been denied? Your mind and its rant. What the fuck? Your eyes and their visions empty, staring. The fuck are you seeing? What the fuck? What now? Now you want to destroy the earth, dry the riverbeds. What now? Now in your control, birth and death. So singular your motives, yet impossible to define. How finely lined by destiny, the cobwebs of your crime. So insular your future, so alien your plan. Take all of this if you will. Noticed in your lusting after death, how determined that your darkness should be shared. In your blindness, the miracle of breath. What element of beauty attracts your cruel desire? Would you see the burning? Is that your delight? Let me see it in your stead. Would you feel my yearning? Peace, life, light, body, breath. Would you take all of this? What now? Now you would destroy the earth, dry the riverbed. Now in your control. Earth and death. What is it that you're seeking? So cold and so deprived. What is it that you dream of in your empty, eyeless head? Why must I share your lust of death? Can you not die alone? Why must I share peace?
Okay, thank you.
Cool, man. That's your band camp. Do you have anywhere else that people can like follow you to check out your stuff?
No, only Bandcamp. Yeah, like and Germ. That's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming through. I found an old pic too that I shared. I did share the link as
Oh,
well.
really?
To the Bandcamp, so you guys can check
Okay,
it out.
cool.
Here on Zoom and on YouTube. So thank you. I said legend, huh? Liken. Okay. I should have known that. All right. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing going. In fact, we're gonna bring it back to Horizon, where we have Lara Lynette, who is gonna share a story. So yeah, Lara, let's see. When you are ready, go ahead and take it. Good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you as well the rest of the week for the open mics. All right. When you're ready, take it away. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it helps to unmute, huh? So I'm not going to share a story like I thought I would. It's kind of long and I've chickened out. Instead, I'm going to move a little, not so far out of my comfort zone and read a couple of new things, or read a new thing and try a new tune out on you. So, this is some thoughts that I had at the Craft Rhythm and Brews Writers Workshop. I was late to it. Chris was there. You were there. I think you offered the prompt about this, speaking to power. And so, yeah, that's this. No title. Music and poetry are moving power. Art is the still power. The still power is in the piece. The power of movement in the word flow. When speaking to power, the poet uses their pen to pierce the armor of the brute. The silent penetration of that bullish shield becomes evident by the retribution poured onto the heads of the creators, like the boiling hot tar over the impenetrable castle wall, or the clank of the jail cell door that becomes the rhythm of the song. Has the oppressor devastated the space where poets and artists have flourished over millennia? I believe not. Or will the unrelenting drive of the artists and poets continue to flood their bright lights onto the folly of the elite class, craving more, hungering for more and more and more in their craven gluttonousness? That's that. That's how I feel about that. So, I wasn't going to do this, but I decided, well, you only live once. And so this is a new tune I've been trying to get the rhythm down to, so bear with me because it's like hot off the presses. You're getting the first sound of it. Oh my God, I'm really doing this. Okay. This is called Why You Gotta Be Like That. It started long before I came around. Someone carved a slice of your heart, then left town. No matter what I say, can never live it down. So tell me why you gotta be like that? Makes me cry. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Some things were said, cut me to my core. Promises you could not keep, kept you reaching for the door. No matter what I do, nothing's gonna heal that sore. So tell me why you gotta be like that? It makes me cry. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Locked in a stone cold stare, it's more than I can bear. Never had a prayer. Tell me why you gotta be like that? It makes me cry. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? And that's all I got so far. Thanks. We'll see what happens with the rest of that. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.
No, I appreciate you. That's super cool. I want to see how that develops, and I was loving it. So yeah, the rest. Anything you want to announce or promote really quick?
Follow me on Instagram, Lara Lynette Music 44. And I ain't got nothing going on. I'm just doing open mics. Tuesday, tomorrow, I'll be at Rosewood. Yeah. Thursday, I'm going down to Sheepdog for sure. I think a bunch of mooses are going to be down there Thursday. I'm going to be there late, though, actually. But that's all I got going on, really, so far.
Okay. Well, we look
Thanks,
forward
Richie.
to. Yeah, no problem. We look forward to having you too. And yeah, Tuesday at Rosewood. Come on through, guys. Again, Wednesday is Writers Night at Proven Press, and Thursday is at Old Sheepdog. Yeah, and I've been told that the Musas will be coming out. So that's it's a little songwriter collective that's kind of happening. Celebrating a lot of the women songwriters. So definitely want to promote that. More space for them. So that's gonna be super fun. Uh, what else? What else? What else can I think of? Yeah, we always love hearing it, your stuff. And thanks for everyone who stuck around again for our online mic. We're here every Monday. So if you ever want to share your own work, then once you feel ready, we always have a link to sign up that we put up online. We have a link tree. You can find that on our social media, and you can subscribe to that. And if you subscribe to it, you don't need to sign up for it, by the way. You don't need to put in your info. All you have to do is just, I think your email or phone number, and you'll be notified whenever a new link goes up every weekend. And if I'm really busy, sometimes it's the Monday of, but it'll get out there. But right now we're gonna go and stick around in El Paso, And he's been here before and in person. It's been a little while, but it's always good to see him out. According to him, he's performing original Fire and Flames and making a whiskey neat. Very neat. Let's go ahead and welcome Charlie back to the mic. Charlie, what's up, man? How you doing? When you're ready, go and take it away.
Richie?
Oh,
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for having us. Thanks for putting this together. Obviously, we all get to share some ideas and thoughts and talents. So yeah, my name is Charlie. I go by Charlie's Blue Ties with IES in the end on Instagram. And yeah, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't really been out much, but today I had a chance to be here. And yeah, my first song is Fire and Flames. That one's pretty much completed. And then my second song, I'm still working on it, so it's not fully finished. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll start with Fire and Flames. Thank you. Okay, and then so I wrote that song after I have a house in Reynosa and there was like fire out there, and then the whole LA stuff happened. So that's kind of what inspired me to write that song. Next is I guess it's called My Whiskey. I still don't really have a title for it, but here it goes. Helps me forget what really seems to be. Thanks for sticking around and hearing me out. Once again, name's Charlie's Blue Ties on Instagram and on Facebook with IES. And yeah, thanks, Richie.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It's really cool to hear that stuff. And like Steven said, those are some cool arrangements. Love it, man. Charlie's Blue Ties. Go check it out. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. In El Paso, we got Mr. Monday Night. You already know. He will be hosting the open mic on Thursday at Old Sheepdog Brewery. So without further ado, here is Kit Wren. Go.
Thank you, Richie. I have one of mine and two covers, and yes, to bring us back to sad business. I'm gonna ask you once again to put that Jeff Taylor link in the chat. If you notice that their goal of 40,000, they've almost hit it in like the 2 days since it happened. So that's incredible. That's a tangible measure of how many people whose lives he's touched. And I suppose I'm one of them. I invited me to his feature. Kind of cold. We had not interacted. He just approached me cold because he had seen some of our videos. He specifically cited this as his favorite one. So into the eye of the poem is not I, but he often resembles me. The eye of the poem speaks in my diction and preoccupies himself with my concerns. I do not know if this makes him my employee or my son, or maybe a plant sprouted from a trimming. When they complain about their circumstances, I do not know if they do so with the helpless wail of a skinned knee or the failed threat of unionization. When they fail in front of a live audience, sometimes I am vengeful and protective, like a mother bear. Other times I am disappointed and grim, and inform them that they have been reassigned. In a couple cases, let go altogether. A lovelorn eye has requested a meeting. He has a list of demands. He is much more handsome than me, which makes his lovelornness inexplicable and cruel and artistically interesting. His first demand is just the word unfair in all capital letters. He is tired of being the Greek on the urn Keats saw, chasing and not catching, drinking but never drunk. He notes that I have no other poems in this emotional register. This is also unfair. This is too much pressure. And anyway, he thought I hated Keats. I love Keats. I don't know where he got that idea. Wordsworth, that's the one I hate. He wants a better ending. Poems never end, I say. He shrieks in frustration, not another damn koan. I just want some fucking say in the things that I'm supposed to have done. It sounds reasonable, but plenty of actual people have this same complaint. This is supposed to be about them in the end, right? Not us. A poem isn't a way around or out of life. I lecture the lovelorn one. I put a fatherly hand on his shoulder. He doesn't like it, but he's too weak to shake it off. It has to be weathered, just like everything else. I shove him towards the door. He leaves, as miserable as he's ever looked, and I created him to be miserable. The eyes of my poems are talking amongst themselves. They are restless and stubborn. They are not staying within their lines and themes. They are comparing salaries. I do not know if they are my employees or my children. They are definitely not plants. And both fathers and bosses know that the revolution always comes. So the first cover, we're Gonna hear from the man himself. This was published in the Literary Underground blog, which Michelle McDonald runs. I believe she also published Donna Snyder's last book. But from 2 poems that were published one day, this is Ween by Jeff Taylor. When I was a Gatorade drinker, I would only ever get up before noon to buy drugs or concert tickets. As I stood along Tremont Street waiting to buy Ween tickets, I watched the fish fan in front of me eat too much acid, then too much ecstasy, while drinking too many beers. He puked, fell to the ground, twitched a few times, puked again, got up, then ran away. It happened so fluidly, it seemed like he had rehearsed it for some demented dance competition. After getting my ticket, I saw him standing in front of the Roxy. I asked if he was okay. He said he's fine. He knew he was taking too much, but did it anyway. He doesn't know where his friends are. They're probably waiting for him, pissed off somewhere. He's done this to them before. And that was Ween by Jeff Taylor. And of course, nobody has a monopoly on mourning. There will be other people in the future. There have been other people in the recent past. Raleigh and James, another person in our little circle of online poets, is known. I did not know him as well. But for everyone we've lost and everyone we will lose, Dirge Without Music by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I am not resigned to the shutting away of loving hearts in the hard ground. So it is, and so it will be, for so it has been, time out of mind. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go. But I am not resigned. Lovers and thinkers into the earth with you, be one with the dull, the indiscriminate dust. A fragment of what you felt, of what you knew, a formula, a phrase remains, but the best is lost. The answers quick and keen, the honest look, the laughter, the love, they are gone. They are gone to feed the roses. Elegant and curled is the blossom, fragrant is the blossom, I know. But I do not approve. More precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave, gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. I know, but I do not approve. And I am not resigned. Thank you all so much for being here, being among us, being part of us. Tumble Words, March 29th. Richie Marrufo is going to host Muse as a Maze. I am so happy about that. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show. Speaking of great shows, Thursday, I will be your master of ceremonies as we play at Old Sheepdog Brewery, musicians and poets. Always a great time. Gus takes care of us. It's a great setup. And, not as much dust as there was last week, so maybe we can set up outside again. And we'll play that by ear, of course. The weather, very changeable. And then Wednesday, we're going to go backwards in time from Saturday to right now. Wednesday is our third Writers' Night in Proof and Press, a very lovely little space. And Candace does a wonderful job leading the workshops and marshaling critique. Critique's a lot different than it was in college, and that's for the better. That is really a good thing that's happening, and Candace does a great job of keeping everyone on target. So that's going to be a great night. And then Tuesday will be Rosewood. I don't know what I'm going to do, but there's also a trivia game next door. So I have such a wealth of choices in front of me. And then Monday is today. And you already saw what I'm doing today. Keep up. Figure it out. Don't get involved. Okay, we're going to throw it back to Richie now. Thank you all so much once again.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate all those plugs. Definitely come through to whatever you guys are available to check out. Again, thanks to everyone who has been checking in online on YouTube. Again, check out the link to help support the Taylor family. I shared that a couple of times already. You can find that in the chat logs there. All right. Hey, we're gonna keep going though. We're gonna go to one of our friends who it's always great to listen to this stuff from Falls Church, Virginia. We have Wall Poet back with us. When you're ready, man, go and take out in space today. Yeah, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
Great.
As always, glad to be here. All right. So I think I have three pieces. I have a cover, and then I have two other ones. And I'm in my car, even though I got the space, so that means I can be louder. So hopefully that's a good thing. All right. So the first one is a cover piece. It's "Language in Zoos" by Saul Williams. All right. I could recite the grass on a hill and memorize the moon. I know the cloud forms of love by heart and have brought tears to the eye of a storm. My memory banks, vaults of autumn forests and Amazon river banks, and I have screamed them into sunsets that echo in earthquakes. Shadows have been my spotlight as I monologue with night. In dialogue, the days, soliloquies of wind and breeze, applauded by sun rays. We put language in zoos to observe caged thought and tossed peanuts and P-funk at intellect. Motherfuckers think these are metaphors. I speak what I see. All words, all words and worlds are metaphors of me. My life is authored by the moon, footprints written in soil, the fountain pen of Martian men, noveling human toil. And yes, the soil speaks highly of me when earth seeds root me poetry. Now, maybe I'm too serious, too good to hear, to matter, though I'm riddled with the reason of the sun, a stand-up comment with the audience of lungs, this body of laughter, is it with me or at me? Hue more or less, though, gender's mute, and the punchline has this lifeline at its root. I'm a star. This life's the suburbs. I commute, make daily runs between the sun and earthly loot, and raise my children to the height of light and truth. Saul Williams. All right. All right. This one is one that I've done here before, but I made some revisions. So it'll sound kind of different. All right. This one's called Poetry on the Menu. It's a concept piece. Hey, how are you doing? My name is Wall Poet, and I'll be your poet for this evening and the remainder of this piece. Looks like we have some poetry on the menu, so please take off your coat, kick back, relax, and I hope you brought your appetite for these poetic verses. Now, Lex, let me tell you about our specials, because for starters, we have a delicious and delectable delicacy full of alliteration with a dash of assonance slowly heated and aimed to keep you seated at the table begging for more. As for the entree, don't worry, I have something truly amazing, sauteed metaphors on a bed of similes, sprinkled with a dab of personification, enough to make your plate stand up and dance for fucking joy. Oh, so you say you're practically starving? Well, that's perfect, because for dessert we have flambéed hyperbole, enough for you and 40 of your closest friends. Wait, so you don't understand the menu? Well, then say no, ma'am. Let me explain. I know that poetry can sometimes feel out of touch or out of reach, like a high-end menu from a restaurant you can barely pronounce. You might think it raves too much about love or how the world is essentially falling apart right before our fucking eyes. Or you also might think that poetry has nothing to offer that Netflix and chill can't already take care of. But I beg to differ, because you know what? The art that lives and breathes on your wall is poetry. The spotlight playlist of your favorite tracks is poetry, and the motivation for your lovemaking sessions to last at least 3 songs is also poetry. And I'm sure you're saying that's what any poet would say. Yes, but typically not so graphically. But according to the Oxford Languages Dictionary that breathes inside of my laptop, any intense sense of beauty or emotion can be poetry, which means the first time you had your heart broken was poetry. But I know what you're saying. How can my heart being ripped apart from my chest and then being served to me in a charcuterie board by my first girlfriend be poetry? How can crying alone in a parking lot at 11 p.m. in my rundown Nissan Altima at age 20 be poetry? But it is. but then it's also a first kiss in the sight of your newborn child and can even be the touch of God. But for me, it's definitely setting a stage on fire with just my words, and when me and the audience are sharing a telepathic connection, where they're laughing at every punchline and each word I say means something. And it's hard to explain the feeling that overwhelms and inspires creativity or the need to spark change. But I can tell you that whether you believe it or not, poetry is a necessity. It lives inside all of us, wanting to come out when we most need it. It is our food, but not just any food. It's food that nourishes the soul. Because poetry, when it's done well, it's not just edible lines that we take in and defecate out. It is our compass, map, and raft. And poetry, when it's done well, is our survival gear and reason to persevere when everything else inside of us screams to give up and just quit. And I hope this poem was done well, because in this world full of infinite beauty and pain, poetry is something that we can use more of. But most of all, it's something that we all need. Poem. All right, and I got one more. Um, so this one I wrote yesterday. I just lately been getting more into the slam stuff, so it's like a kind of competitive slam type poem. So, all right, let's go. It's called I Still Got It. See, I've been doing this long enough that I can purposely prepare poems that perfectly paint pictures, placating to those who prefer the imagery filled with beauty and serenity, all while effortlessly sprinkling alliteration like it's a spice. We're going to do that again. See, I've been doing this long enough that I can purposefully prepare poems that perfectly paint pictures, placating to those who prefer the imagery filled with beauty and serenity, all while effortlessly sprinkling alliteration like it's a spice. And I've been doing this long enough that my words are able to empower and uplift the reader or listener when they're going through their darkest hours. But don't get it misconstrued, because I still got what it takes and can still get down, lock and load, and poetically squabble up at a moment's notice, meaning I'm still razor sharp with this pen and have no problem treating this poetry thing like a blood sport. So fuck it, just call me Maximus, and my Coliseum is any physical or virtual stage. Actually, just call me Wall Poet, which sounds kind of similar to Batman, but instead of a utility belt and a cape, I carry around a backpack with poetry books, a whiteboard, and dry erase markers. But hold on, because often it might seem like the older I get, the more I can't hang like I used to. And just because I'm getting older doesn't mean I can't see past formulaic styles and redundant vocabulary that sounds like stacks of poets I've already heard before. And I've been known to set ablaze a stage or two, gripping a microphone like David holds a slingshot and ready to spit poems like my life depended on it. Because I was rocking stages when you were in elementary school. And I could care less how much riz you got, how many more followers you got than me, because I can go toe to toe against poets who can eclipse the sun with just their words. Because I still got this hunger to prove myself, like when I was 21. But now the metaphors and similes I carry in the bag across my shoulder weighs at least 2 tons. And the life experience I have that allows me to survive in the most adverse situations is priceless. And maybe what I now write about differs immensely from when I started and was so angry at the fucking world. And I expressed this with a shaved head and the Che Guevara necklace around my neck that I wore like it was Jesus Christ as a fuck you to the corrupt oligarchy. But after seeing the current state of affairs in this country is literally a powder keg waiting to explode at any moment, I might just have to continue to say fuck you to the corrupt oligarchy and continue to stay in this poetry game just a little bit longer. And each day I slowly begin to realize that my biggest threat in this thing is actually just me being so stuck in my head that it hinders what I can achieve. So I need to use this poem as my mantra and reminder that I can still do this. And that I'm still capable of permanently knocking imposter syndrome off my shoulder. And remind myself that I'm still capable of overcoming even the most insurmountable challenge that lies ahead. And I do this by repeating the following words to myself. I still got it. Poem. Thank you very much. You can find me in WellPoet82 IG. Recently was featured on a Substack as well. I can put up the link later. But thank you.
Awesome stuff, man. Love it. Love it. Love the work. As always, got the claps and the snaps in the chat. Walpole 82. Go check them out. Man, yeah, we haven't had a slam in this region in a while. But it's cool. You know, we got so many other events going on right now. This is fine. We're all working on our writing still. Okay. We are going to go to Canada for our next performer. That's right. It is time for Cassie on the mic. So let's get you. See, there you are. Okay, cool. When you're ready, hey Cassie.
Richie, hey everyone.
Yo.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So this first piece is called Familiar Curiosity. Unrelenting curiosity has been next to me, a sort of nagging familiar, as long as my stream memory spans, introducing me to the warm pulse of awe one gets under the skin when nature shows its tightly knit intricacy, its vibrant pores, the unmistakable, indelible beauty of its curious underbelly. This companion ever nudging me to shift my attention long enough to let that unmatched throb back in. When I get too distracted by crosswords and chasing the tail of romance, alerting me to a sharp myriad of dangers, the exciting kind you find underneath the hearts of two unfurled drunken lovers, worthy of a chance of the lingering sting, and the kind better left untouched. All right, and then this second piece of mine is called, tentatively titled, Rosy Haze. I remember the time I convinced you to release your submersion in toxic boys for a night. We tried to get drunk off rosé you stole from your grandparents' basement, an idea that faltered in its aim but left us submerged in unbounded friendship. Anxiety-riddled teenage limbs untethered, drifting alongside one another, buoyant and free, in the wash of ease that flooded my sunroom. So unlike the female friendship that had felt tightly knit, precarious. That night, between rosy waves to lips and exhaled smoke dancing across the water's edge, I found a tie that unfurled me and clung to my skin like the touch of wet rose petals. It's one of the first friendship, love letter ode poems I've ever written. It's interesting. It's quite recent. All right, and then I have, sorry, just a moment. Lost my document. Okay. This next poem of mine is called Whispers to Branching Kin, after Mary Oliver. Can you imagine not sharing vital resources with your neighbors? Pretending your root systems aren't intertwined? Believing reaching towards the vast, believing reaching towards vast, forgiving fingertips of golden sky just before the cloak of night envelops you is a fruitless endeavor? Can you imagine forgetting the air around you is kin? All right, so that's what I have for originals. Have a couple covers here. Just one moment. All right. This first poem is called So Much Happiness by Naomi Shihab Nye. It is difficult to know what to do with so much happiness. With sadness, there is something to rub against, a wound to tend with lotion and cloth. When the world falls around you, you have pieces to pick up, something to hold in your hands, like ticket stubs or change. But happiness floats. It doesn't need you to hold it down. It doesn't need anything. Happiness lands on the roof of the next house, singing, and disappears when it wants to. You are happy either way. Even the fact that you once lived in a peaceful treehouse and now live over a quarry of noise and dust cannot make you unhappy. Everything has a life of its own, and it too could wake up filled with possibilities of coffee, cake, and ripe peaches, and love, even the floor which needs to be swept, the soiled linens and the scratched records. Since there is no place large enough to contain so much happiness, you shrug, you raise your hands, and it flows out of you into everything you touch. You are not responsible. You take no credit, as the sky takes no credit for the moon, but continues to hold it and share it, and in that way be known. All right. And have another cover here. This is called The Moment by Margaret Atwood. The moment when, after many years of hard work and a long voyage, you stand in the center of your room, house, half-acre, square mile, island, country, knowing at last how you got there and say, I own this, is the same moment when the trees unloose their soft arms around you, the birds take back their language, the cliffs fissure and collapse, the air moves back from you like a wave, and you can't breathe. No, they whisper, you own nothing. You were a visitor, time after time, climbing the hill, planting the flag, proclaiming, you never belong. We never belonged to you. You never found us. It's always the other way around. It was always the other way around. All right. And just have one more here. Just one moment. Okay. All right. This is called Planned Community by Kathy Fagan. Each day the house resembles houses more and more. Wood frame, dry wrap, windows, sold signs posted in the front of every building. I am staying at one of the first houses in the community where my mother-in-law, when awake, cries for her life from the hospice bed she will die in. I can't help but think of the new constructions as skeletons of this one, or more properly, progeny. The road I walk is one version of what once was here: deer path, native trail, trade road, life after life after life. She doesn't want a new one. She wants the plans she bought, the basement kitchen and fluorescent lights, Formica counters and linoleum floor, the plastic tablecloths, 2 stoves, refrigerator against the drywall, freezer behind the cinder block, her spouse restored, family, food, more food. There's always more. I am walking past it, past the hammering to a recess in the earth too deep for now to fill. Lucky trees with their wet feet thrive there, and August blossoms thrive in the sun at the roadside above them. I don't want to write about death anymore. I don't want to be another dying one. I am walking the road, the trail, the path. What is the opposite of a ghost, they ask. Wild carrot, curly dock, little blue stream. All right, so that's what I have for poetry this evening. If you are curious to occasionally see more of my work, you could follow me at Relentless Intrigue on Instagram. I believe I was gonna say my Substack, which I believe is Relentless Intrigue on Substack as well. Infrequently used, but there. Okay, thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Cassie. That That was a quick sign off. Like it caught me off guard. Yeah, but great set there. As always, lots of love being shown in not just a Zoom chat, but YouTube chats. Thank you guys for that. And we're gonna go in and keep going. We have a couple more people left today. Again, if you guys wanna hang out with us this week, join us Tuesday at Rosewood, Wednesday at Proof of Press, Thursday at Old Sheep Dog Brewery. I will be hosting Temple Wars on Saturdays, so come through for that. But right now we're gonna go ahead and go to Washington D.C. for our next performer. If you've been here before, you already know, ladies and gents, it's Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, take it away, my friend.
Taking my breath like no other with words like thunder. Right. Well, we lost Jeff. I haven't spoken with him, but I've seen him perform at open mics. Actually, I performed at his Garage Poets open mic. If he wasn't doing poetry, he's advocating for his children and his wife. I hope he rests in eternal peace. But anyway, my name is Ed Potasso. I'm feeling fantastic. Please, in the time, you can join my rhyme. Feel sublime. Hope I'm not gonna take too much time. I got 13 jokes and I got 2 poems from our wonderful David Latif's workshop at Tone Words and 2 more poems. So let's begin. What does your winter fat turn into? Spring rolls. What's the best place to plant flowers at a school? In kindergarten. How excited was the gardener about the arrival of spring? So excited that he wet his plants. How did the tree feel about spring? Relieved. What's Irish and comes out in spring? Patio furniture. Which superhero likes spring the best? Robin. Why are trees very forgiving in spring? Because they turn over a new leaf. What do you call a girl with a frog on her head? Lily. Why do birds fly north in the spring? Because it's way faster than walking. Why couldn't the flower ride its bike? It lost its petals. What do you call an emergency in spring? May Day. Why was the math book sad about spring? Because it had too many problems. And last but not least, what's the difference between spring rolls and summer rolls? Seasoning. Hope everyone enjoyed those jokes. Hope for you folks. All right. The first poem is called Take Me Back. Take me back when food was nice, not to where food is tiny and overpriced. Take me back when I had a physical menu, not making it inconvenient for you. Take me back to where the server looks bright, not rude, crazy, or looking for a fight. Take me back where I can use money, not finding the card reader looking funny. Take me back where food tastes good stewed, not feeling I've been hoodwinked or screwed. Take me back where they know your name, not to be seated at a dirty table with shame. Take me back where things were a little simple, not to a foo-foo place masquerading as a temple. Take me back when my wallet and gut were full, not to be empty and more hangry as a raging bull. Thank you. This other one's called Golden Souls. My unique umbrellas in the rain, or the medicine growing through pain. I wish I could share more time. Life loves to kick us all in the behind. I wish I could make more memories, colorful gems in this pale reality. I wish I could give them a clean bill of health, little extra humanity under their belt. I wish I could see them once more, instead of banging on heaven's door. They're with the graceful dead, but I haven't forgotten what they said. They accept their unforeseen fate. That's what made them so great. I hang on to their fragments of virtue, knowledge sticking to us like glue. They may be gone from history, but they're stepping stones in our reality. They were human as human can be, offering support and love, which is the key. They were such marvelous souls, more bright than diamonds and gold. Thank you. All right, the other one is called Drunken Fish. Thank you so much. Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns in the beer, chasing my blues away, and I'll be okay. Well, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places. Please drink responsibly before you hurt your man or sweetie. Please don't get pulled over by a roaring hangover. Please know your limit before reality hits. This is called the Drunken Fish. A cup of Henny to make me sing like Whitney. A cup of wine to make me feel fine. A cup of beer to put me to joyful tears. A cup of Guinness to put me in a stage of bliss. A cup of Blue Moon to turn me to a balloon. A cup of Bud Light to make me feel alright. A glass of Martini to make me feel like Bond, sweetie. A cup of Pina Colada to make me feel the beach drama. A glass of Grasshopper to make me feel like a show starter. A cup of Bloody Mary to make me feel like Dracula and scary. A cup of lager to make me feel a bit hotter. A cup of ale to make me straighten my sail. A cup of Sammy Adams. That was random. A cup of porter to make me feel in order. A cup of strout to make me hungry for trout. A cup of mead to make me loose like weed. A cup of angry orchard to help me put 1 foot forward. A cup of Corona to make me sing my Sharona. A cup of Budweiser to make me much higher. A cup of those Stuckies to make me feel at ease. If you don't drink, it's okay. Too much to drink, you can't think. Enjoy your days. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I drunk them all. It was college. The bottles were singing. I was answering the call. I'm not a pushover. Oh God, here comes the hangovers. Thank you. And my last one is called Sympathy of Poetry. Poetry is livelier than any sunflower or rose, while any explanation or logic goes. The sweet sympathy of pure creativity, so appreciate the effects and the sensitivity. Sharp words far straight to the heart, rain down through skies of vivid art. Each word covering emotions, like fishes dancing in the clear ocean. Seeing a bouquet of colorful flowers, blossoming in a magnificent array of power. Writing and reading like dancing and singing. The parade of words is only the beginning. Notebooks teleport into a literary world, pages jumping off insightful and delightful spirals, shared by concrete or imaginative minds, lessons grow in very personal design. The pleasure of constant, desirable writing, the patterns of free verse, limerick, haiku, or rhyming, reinventing tales of new, personal, and old, polishing them to shine like luminous gold. Oh, poetry, you're luring with your verbal melody, ears full of worldly fireworks of complete harmony. The lines sung this ugly yet beautiful universe, flowing words of true verse going straight on course. Please downpour us a radiant sight of weather. Shower us till we're redder or feel even better. Thank you.
Sorry, my mouse got stuck.
It's okay. Oh, you're mute.
How can we follow and support you?
Oh, you can follow me, support me online while coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our money light in the sorry. If you want to support me, come to this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday night such a delight in the wonderful fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, please free. My Facebook is Eddie Forum, my IG is Eddie Forum mine too. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my fantastic insight. If you send me a quest, you take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Now start spewing the warm words of child your chest. Now start feeling and doing and being your best. And always remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. Oh, I love this show.
Awesome, man. Thank you as always, Ed. Cool, man. Yeah, sorry, dude. I my mouse like was getting stuck on my desk. I was like, come on, come on, come on, and I couldn't unmute on time, so it was awkward. And then I accidentally pushed it twice, which means you heard me, and then I muted myself. Anyway, whatever. You guys don't need that explanation. Hey, thanks for joining us on Monday nights. I appreciate everyone who signs up and shares their work. You know, it just like any open mic, it takes a lot, to sign up and share a little bit of yourself, be vulnerable, and just get all the props in the world. These guys make it look really easy, even though sometimes it isn't. So, as always, we're gonna go ahead and close our mic with Daniel the Manual, Mr. Daniel Tennessee Jr., aka Dan the Man. Dan, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Yo. Oh,
Thanks,
wait,
Richie. Yeah, okay.
hold on. Let me get you on the spotlight.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, somebody already beat me to it because one of my best friends said that like 15 years ago. She invented that name, Daniel the Manual. It was good memories, but I appreciate you guys, even though. But I'm sad we've lost Jeff Taylor. May he rest in peace. Well, it's sad. I'm sad. But the poetry he did, we're glad. But we're never mad. So, but poetry he did, we're still glad. So it's sad. God rest his soul. I wish I have a code. Wish I have a code or a QR code, but it looks like I guess it's not showed, but looks like I have no idea. And speaking of background, how do I need a background mode for the Zoom? I guess I'm not talking about the Morse code or any kind of dress code. It's kind of free load, but plus of a workload, but it's trade load. Yeah. Well, but just let you know, next month, National Poetry Month. But if it's poetry, we have to be there. It's the place to be. Something like in the elementary, but it's off key. Something like from the IB to the peewee to the queen bee to the sweet pea, and it's off like a bumblebee, but it's Christmas tree. Sometimes you want to agree to disagree. Well, pardon me. This word just kind of like a poetry spree. Yep. Just like you're earning a poetry degree in college degree. Yeah. So it'll be land of the free. All right. So, yeah, who's ready for next Monday? Who's ready for next Monday? Oh, no, I'm sorry, next Tuesday, National Poetry Month. Well, we still got one more month. We still got one more Monday for March on the 31st day. Yeah, what can we say? We're about a day away till National Poetry Month. Besides National Poetry Month, there is April Fool's Day, and 2 days away, Light It Up Blue Day, Autism Awareness Day, and about a couple of weeks, and about 3 or 4 weeks away, 420 Day. Yeah, it's the day of Easter Sunday. Yeah, what can we say? But the 4th month that day. Okay. And even though, but National Poetry Month will honor Jeff Taylor and Donna Snyder. We miss them. God rest their souls. And they said there was another one who passed away. Someone we know very well. Besides my two friends.
Raul James.
Raul James. Was he here before in our Zoom? Or do I know? Have I met him by Zoom? I don't think I have. God rest his soul to him. Condolences out to his families, both families. Okay. All right, guys. Just keep following me on Instagram. My latest episode is on Twitter. No, I'm sorry, Instagram. Well, you can get my latest episodes on YouTube. Hashtag The Advance Weekly. I'm thinking my next blog will be April Fool's Day. I'm just gonna get the update on what happened in Las Cruces. Gonna see what, and yeah, marking 3 decades since we've lost the first Queen of Tex-Mex, Selena. God rest her soul. Been 3 decades. I still wish she was here today. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. You have a great night. And okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night. Richie?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just I wanted to see how long I could keep it on before you get uncomfortable. But man, thank you, Dan, for all the shout outs and everything. And again, everyone who tuned in, we will, as always, be back next Monday. Like I said, there's a lot of things actually, but among it's going to be Poetry Month. So for those of you who want to maybe take the 30 for 30 challenge, that's writing 30 poems, 30 days, maybe we will do something of that, related to barbed wire, and maybe we can find a way to maybe gather and share posts, and then maybe at the end of the month have a cool celebration over that. But stay tuned for details. But of course, we're here every Monday. Also, be on the lookout for our shows. There's some that I keep remembering. Next Friday, so not this Friday, but after that, we're gonna have a special edition open mic at the Falstaff in El Paso, and that's gonna be in conjunction with oh my gosh, I'm totally losing my track. I'm doing off of the top of my head, but anyway, hopefully I'll tell you guys more about it next Monday. But again, thanks for everyone who joined in. Also, we'll be at the college EPCC Valle Verde campus on Wednesday if you guys want to come through, and we will see you guys next time for the online mic. My name is Rich, and